Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thank y'all for joining us this morning. We've got a special guest today, Alan. He's come to share his experiences with us. But first, I want to give a shout out to the NTZ crew. I know y'all on here. Thank y'all so much. There's Jacob Tanjay. Any old heads, Jeffrey Tatter, Roger Walker, any new people joining us, thank y'all for joining the live stream today. And also, anybody that's going to catch this on replay. Now, what we're going to talk about today, the title of the video, and this comes straight from Alan, is the 5 million peso mistake he made by falling in love with his online girlfriend. Well, first of all, just briefly introduce yourself, Alan.
How you doing, folks? My name is Alan, and January 18th, I'll be 66 years old, and I'm on Social Security, and I draw VA disability. I'm not rich, and do little side jobs to try to compensate, and it's even harder now since the pandemic and the economy. Things are tough. And so I met, I will say I met my ex on Facebook. I wasn't looking, it just happened.
Yeah, let me ask you this right off the top. How much money did you end up sending her?
I would have to say in a 3-year period for various and different things, but started out small, okay? About 85,000.
$85,000. Okay.
Yes.
Now, my next question is, did you ever meet her?
Nope, I didn't. That was my first mistake.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, because first of all, I want to thank you for coming on here, having the courage to come on here, because he reached out to me. Alan reached out to me, said, hey, Cal, I've been following you for, ever since the pandemic. And he said, I just experienced something that you're always talking about, and I want to bear witness to it. And you're going to help some people. See, one thing is, people think that when I tell these stories about men giving away all this money to Filipinos, that I'm lying. So I want to thank you for that. Also, I want to thank you for coming on here, because I've lost friends who are probably watching this now. Whenever I talk about a man giving away a large amount of money, they think I'm talking about them. They don't realize there's literally thousands of men, myself included, that have spent millions of pesos over here. So thank you, Alan. I really, really appreciate that. Now, do you consider it a scam, what happened to you?
Not like, it's kind of she never asked for any money. And so some of them are smart. They can't be hit with a scam if you're not asking for the money to cover their tracks. There's other ways, and I've studied and read and listened where they get the family involved, the community involved. You follow what I'm saying? And in my heart, because I've been scammed once before, many years ago, for about $2,000 from a woman in a foreign country. So I wasn't looking, but I was drawn and attracted to her. And so I just, sent a request just to, on Facebook. And she didn't do it right away, but I'm sure that she had checked my profile, which I'd followed her profile a little bit. And and I've seen some of the poor country, and and her, you know.
So what were you doing? Let me ask you this, because I'm trying to keep the conversation moving.
Okay. Yes.
Alan. That way people can kind of understand what's going on. So you said she never asked for money, but she asked in another way. That's the message you sent me. What was she doing? You said she played on your sympathy?
Yes, yes. Well, when she accepted me as a friend and we were chatting before we went to video chat, and then I was surprised. I didn't expect that right away. Then when we went to video chat, she started talking about, and then I seen her place, how tough it was, and she had a store where she sold beer, wine, cigarettes, and you know, in the community, there's a lot of stores. They buy from a big store, and they're trying to make a living and stuff, and they were struggling with rice and not and so naturally, I felt sad, and I didn't
How much
want
was the first amount? How much was the first amount you sent her?
Probably a couple of $100.
Couple of $100. So how often were you sending money for it to add up to 85,000 over 3 years? That's a lot of money. That's with the exchange rate what it is now, it's 55.5. That's 4.7. That's 4.7 million pesos.
Yeah. When I started, the peso was down at 47 and 48 at the time. And
right.
And then
so how often were you sending her money?
Once we got into a relationship, and of course she talked about she's going to love and carry me, and I actually squared up over here and was made plans and bought an airline ticket to go there in November. I wanted to be there for her birthday and Chris, and then I bought a one-way ticket, but I was unfamiliar because with the pandemic, there was a lot of stuff going on in paperwork, and I had a travel agency that pretty much screwed me, and I lost out on. And then when I got to the airport, I was at the airport and couldn't make the flight because my.
Right. Let me ask you one more time, Alan. How often were you sending her money? This is important.
Every month.
Every month.
Sometimes, yep, and sometimes in a week because we were in a relationship, so we were like husband and wife, and I felt like family. And then I was planning to move there to be with her. So you follow what I'm saying? And it was
So when did you move into a relationship? I mean, what did you just say? Did she say, "Are you going to be my girlfriend?" Or did you make that decision? I mean, do you consider that a relationship? You're just chatting online. She lives 8,000 miles away from you.
8,000 miles away. So I never, even some of my friends tried to warn me, but I didn't want to listen because I'm bad about wanting to do things my own way, and being the fact that I'd been married a bunch of times. And
stop right there, because that's important. This is what I say, Mike, on all my live streams. It's hard to help men, grown men, because they're going to do things their own way, man. You're bearing witness. This is a very important interview, guys. He's telling you exactly what I'm dealing with. Y'all are hard to help, okay? Because you can tell you everything in the book and you're going to do it your own way, and you're going to end up spending 5 million pesos. That's a lot of damn money, man. Okay? Now, what was she doing to earn that money, Mike? Was she stripping naked and showing you a booty and stuff, or what?
No, well, here's the other thing. Another red flag. She's separated, but still married. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would have to get an annulment for us to get married, which she's saying will be simple because she's got a witness and it's only going to cost this much. But when I brought it up from another Filipina P that does blogs, talked about, and even you don't get involved with a married woman.
Yeah.
So that's another flag.
Yeah.
And,
What was she doing with the money? Because
well,
that's a fortune. That's a fortune over here. She would never ever be able to earn that kind of money with a sorry store. Okay. So what was she doing with the money?
she had a store, and the pandemic, she showed me, and it was about done, and they were struggling. So I decided to help her get the store back. And so she reconstructed on her house, because it's at her house. And I was sent the money to reconstruct, put a roof over and the money to buy the stocks. And
Yeah.
that was like, to stock it up was like 20,000 pesos and to get started. And then she talked and convinced me about another, and then they right away I became the godfather to her grandson who lives on the backside of her house, her son who's an electrician, and to her grandson there. So that right there should be, you see what I'm saying? Reason they made me a godfather, because guess what? He's gonna, being a godfather to a young kid, I may contribute money. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's
right.
those things
I know.
without asking. You follow me?
Yeah, I'm fine. Let me ask you something. Have you been married before?
Have I been married before?
Yeah.
Yeah. 6 times.
6 times.
Yep.
All Western women or foreign women?
No, all Western women.
So were you lonely when you started dealing with this woman?
Yes, I was. And I raised 2 children because my 5th wife, my 2 kids by her, I got a kid from my first wife, and he's 40, going to be 46. And then my daughter and son now are 27 and 26. And she was a young woman, but I was a truck driver at the time, and she wasn't doing right. And I took them and got custody of them, and I raised them by myself. So I didn't get involved while I was trying to raise the children. And after they got on their own, I was lonely, and I started thinking, like a lot of men, well, maybe I will try. I'm tired of the Western women and things like that. And, and decided after, because I really wasn't looking, because when I first met her, she had like 1,500 followers, mostly men, on her Facebook page.
Wow. Yeah. Now, was she, be honest now.
Yeah.
Was she nice look? Was she nice? How old was she? No, let's say that.
Okay. She wasn't, I'm not really into young, like a lot of them, young women.
Right. But how old was she, Mike? I mean,
at the time we met, she was 53, had turned 54.
Wow.
So she's 57 now.
That's important. That's important because you did the same thing I did when I first came over here. I bought my Western thinking. I never even knew that I could deal with young women over here. So the first 2 women I dealt with, one was 38, one was 41. I was 45. But yeah, she's old. She's ancient over here. That's like a dinosaur over here. But let me ask you this. So did this cause you financial trouble? This 85,000?
Well, I took money. I didn't have a lot, but I took money out of my savings account, and I didn't mess with my pension money. But money that I did on the side was money on projects and stuff that I did under the table, because I landscape. I haul scrap, metal, trash, move furniture. I get maintenance, all that kind of stuff. So it came from that. And sometimes I can do pretty good and sometimes not. And
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that you were giving her you were giving her about 1.5 million pesos a year over here. That's a phenomenal amount of money. Did you
yeah,
realize how much money you were giving her over here? I
I,
know you said 85,000, but over here it's 5 million.
yeah, it's, well, not only that, I tried, it's like she didn't want to, then she would say it's our store, not her store. Okay. Because of the backing, you follow what I'm saying? And I
Yeah,
got her. And so she convinced me to invest in a motorcycle for taxi. So I invested that it would be good business. Okay. She convinced
yeah,
me to, she liked to cook and wanted to do a food extension with her store to cook different foods and stuff. So
yeah.
I sent the money to her to extend the food extension, put a roof on that. And then I sent her right off the bat to stock up the food extension and all that, 70,000 to 100,000 pesos.
Wow. Let me ask you this. Why now? Why break up with her now after 3 years? Why didn't you do it before? What took you so long?
I did a couple times because some things happened, uh, and I caught her. She hid some stuff, and that's another thing. If you not met her, trying to have that trust, and people, uh, even my friend says, Jack, I'm just surprised because that's wild for you because you never do anything like that. And I said, well, I wanted to change the scenery in Augusta, and I felt like, seeing her family and the children and the life that, but I became kind of a prisoner, and I got to be able to go. So I would bring up. I was hoping eventually it would break off. Plus, I helped her, her her cell phone. I was paying allowance for her young daughter that's still living there, going to school. This is her last year, and so I was paying the utilities, and then plus she has like some games where kids come and play the games, and
Yeah.
several different things. I even helped her get hooked up with Synergia. And but then she wouldn't move forward, and I kept saying, "Why aren't you taking so much money?" I said, "You're in business, just like I'm in business, and you're in business to make a living. So why are you not taking a certain amount to cover your bills and expenses?" And her big thing was she didn't. She rolled everything she made. She'd roll it all back into stocks. So why should?
Mm.
And then, like in my mind, I'm thinking, well, she's not worried about because she's got me flipping the bill for food and different things and stuff like that. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did she have receipts? Did she have receipts, Mike? I mean, Al. I keep calling you Mike because I'm looking at Mike on here.
That's
Did
okay.
she
That's
have?
okay.
Did she have receipts?
What kind of receipts?
I mean, to show the money,
Well,
to
I
show
have.
for the money you were sending her.
Oh, I got my receipts and through, Remedy, Can Gay.
No, no, no. I mean, her. Did she have like Okay, if you're sending her all that money, because with all these businesses she's got you investing in, surely they're earning some kind of money.
It got to be, but then she would kept saying business wouldn't be that good, and this is what really got me down to the wire, because I blocked her a couple times, and then I felt guilty. Now I'm feeling guilty and bad, you know what I mean? And so I would get back with her, and but she didn't want to talk about the money, and then would throw it up in my face that she didn't like that I would say, well, look what all I've done. I'm not asking for nothing.
Stop right there. This is a point that I make all the time.
I know.
Right?
I've seen you say it and do it.
This is a point I make all the time. If you bring up what you did, that's exactly what they're going to say. They're going to get angry. See, they all do that. All right. Oh, you're keeping score. Right. That's what they'll say. I mean, So yeah, go ahead. I'm just stopping you because, man, listen, I don't be on here yapping to people. I'm telling y'all what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing over here, and you bear witness to it.
And I would say, and then she blew me away one time because she said, and everybody would say, "You so lucky," and plus she's a godly woman too, and that's another one.
Yeah, they're all Christians. Yeah, they're all Christians. That's the thing. They're all Christians. Okay.
Well, she's Catholic, but then she belongs to another. I'm not going to mention the name. Organization. Yeah. Okay. And I don't go along with some of the things they do, but I even sent money to help them out. And people, and then I started getting hit by a lot of friend requests. Well, I didn't want any drama or any problems because I did, so I would not accept any friend request from her family or any Filipinos. Period. You see?
Yeah, she was telling them, and they were seeing all the money you were sending. This has happened to a friend of mine over here. The same thing. When he broke up with the first woman he was giving all that money to, his friend request, he was flooded with requests from young Filipinos, and they're all looking for that big lotto ticket that the one woman threw away.
And she would even tell me, friends would come to her and family members, well, you got money because you got American foreigner. They think we're all rich, but we're not. And she'll tell them, oh, Jack's not rich. Alan's not rich. He just works hard. But you're so lucky. And then she would say, I was her angel. I was her, I was God sent. You know what I'm saying? And God meant for us to be together and those kind of things.
Yeah. Now, one guy said that maybe her husband was still there with her. When did you find out she was married? How long did it take for her to tell you that?
She told me she was married when she was younger. Now she's very smart and intelligent, and she was in dancing. She could sing really good, a lot of karaoke. She had a stereo system, and she was in volleyball. She used to run and and she lived in Manila for a while too. But she separated from her first husband that she had 2 kids by, a boy and a girl, because he was cheating on her and stuff. And then later she met a man and was a live-in partner, and with him she had 4 or 5 kids and was separated from him. So
now see, here's another thing. Guys say, well, how can men do this type of stuff? Shouldn't they know any better, right? And you would think that after your story, it's happening right now, Alan. Okay, there's a guy over here right now. He's a black guy. He's spending, I'm talking about, he just came over here, just met the woman. He spent $100,000 and something on a ring. he sent 3,500 US dollars. So that's another 150,000 to her before he even got here. And, you know, he's getting ready to build an apartment building for this lady that he just met. He's setting himself up for disaster. A guy asked me today, Calvin, why do men do that? That's the $64,000 question. Why did you do it, Alan? I mean, what were you thinking, or were you not thinking?
I was thinking and not thinking at the same time, if that makes sense. I wanted something different, and the Philippines is beautiful, and I love to fish. I love to camp, and I wanted an opportunity to experience something. Plus, with my age and health problems, something I didn't weigh in later until now. I got 2 more years of surgeries to get things right, and I have to depend on the VA, and the VA is in Manila. So you know what I'm saying? And but I figured, you know, I'd give it a shot, and my kids weren't happy about it, but you know, they voiced their views. And
yeah, I know you said that you're on, you get a pension, you know, your own Social Security, so that money put a dent in your savings.
Yep, and I do pretty good with what I get now, and I'm working and fighting the VA for 100%, and maybe eventually I'm at 50%, but with it and my Social Security, that's big money over there. And she
So
even
what
said
would you
that.
what would you tell a guy right now who's thinking about, he's getting ready to hit that button right now to send that Remitly over here, or the Western Union, or whatever it is? What would you tell? What would be some advice you'd give him?
Don't send the money. Go there first. See what you're up against, because they can sugarcoat it, they can hide it, they got family members, they can work it, and they are good at hiding it. And so some things were hid from me, and what,
like what? Like what?
I didn't know about the live-in partner until a little bit later in the relationship.
Yeah.
And somebody, and that's in the neighborhood, that had wanted me.
Right.
And sent me a message and a picture and stated family is always first to them. And they are close. I like, you know, they are close with their family, you know.
Yeah.
And they live close in the area. And but she stocked up well with in her stocks in the store. She even made a statement one time. She looked around and even thought about it. She couldn't believe. And the money just wasn't in the store. There were family members that got sick or help in the hospital that I took care of and helped out. Different things like that.
How many funerals did you pay for, Alan?
I didn't pay for any funeral, but I did. Well, I take that back. I did. One of her nieces died, and she was 39 when we first met, and so I did.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at the fact that there's always a funeral involved, man. They always hit you with that funeral, man. That's why I asked you.
I sent some money for the food for the funeral. You know what I'm saying? And but she stated that she had somewhere in the neighborhood of about 100,000 pesos in her store as stocks.
Wow. Who told you that? Who told you that?
She did.
She did. Because wait 1 second. Because you said that one of the friends or family members sent you a picture of her with her living boyfriend, right?
and the children. And then, but
Right. Let me finish on that, because I tell guys all the time, they say, well, how do you vet the woman? You go around her friends and family. Somebody's going to rat her out who's jealous, who may want you. They're going to tell. That's how you vet them. You keep going around the friends and family. You're going to find out everything you need to know. And you found out. So what made you continue with the relationship after that?
well, this individual was somebody that lived in the neighborhood, and she was one that hustled and got money, but it was a female. But when she originally, I, I'm strategic too, and I just knew something was up. And so I set that individual up and was able to find out who it was, and it blew her away that I had the ability to do that. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what made you stay in the relationship? You should have cut her off right there. Because that's another thing I tell guys with this whole long distance relationship. There's a Filipino boyfriend somewhere in the picture, guys. Quit being stupid.
I know. And I didn't see him around there. And she broke up with him because of something he did. And it's kind of a secret, so I won't talk about it. And but he knows, she said, and the others, they know, that she's involved with me. But then I brought up, I said, listen, I've heard it could cost a fortune for an annulment because there's no divorce. Oh, no.
Yeah.
It won't be that bad because I got a witness but I've heard the stories and I brought it up. And then, when I brought up, and I was going to go this November but then when I had the hip, went out in June, and then I had to have hip surgery, that messed things up. And then she brought up, which really stumped me, because in the wintertime, I'm dead. All I got is, I can't send any money. I don't have any work or stuff like that. You follow what I'm saying?
So the 85,000 put a hurting on you.
Yeah, because I wasn't able to keep up with some of my equipment, my lawnmower, and do the things that I needed to do for myself. And when I look back on it, I was like, God, I can't believe, it's hard to fathom over once you get in that web, you know what I'm saying? And, she stated that right before Christmas, and a few days before that, she was telling me that, things were slow and she didn't have any money, and that she went and bought 30,000 pesos in stocks. And I thought,
yeah,
if you bought 30,000, you're taking all the money and rolling it in the business because you're dependent on me. And then she even talked about, my money. And then if I get my 100%, what really triggered me is when she talked about if I win my 100% with what I got, that would put me at about over 5,000 a month of the income. Okay.
$5,000.
Yeah.
Okay, now it sounds to me like you still got feelings for Alan.
I still have some feelings. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The things that were good that you know what I'm saying? I was really crazy about her and attracted to her. But when she brought up soon, she said, for 200,000, he can get a nice car. And then she named her daughter, and so would like that. You follow what I'm saying? And that was.
Let me ask you this: did y'all ever play peekaboo? Did she ever send you pictures of her naked or show you Did she ever come on cam naked? Why would you keep
Nope.
sending all that money? She must have been doing something, Alan.
And that's what shocks everybody. I'm a gentleman, and I never asked her to expose her body to me. I don't believe in that. I believe in respect. And a lot of women do it, and the men, foreigners, want that. But because she was a godly woman, and that's why, because I know things about the Bible. I've been to church, and in some ways more than her, because she's Catholic, and so I never asked her, period, to expose herself.
Yeah.
I said, that's
Right.
something we'll do when I get there. And I said, I can see her body as it is. Now, she liked to wear her short shorts, and I would fuss. I was a little bit jealous because I didn't like her. She did delete a lot of her friends on Facebook, but she still had like 200 something. And a lot of it's supposed to be family, but, it's your word against hers. You know what I'm saying? Mostly
Yeah.
Filipinos.
I know you
And
messaged me last night and something stuck out. That's why I asked you about the financial trouble, that 85,000, because you said if I could afford it, I'd come over there, and want to meet you. And I'm like, well, how? You know how many round trip tickets you've bought for $85,000
I
out?
even told her that myself. I said, do you realize how many times? I said, but every time I turn around, there's another problem, and I'm sending money, and I can't save money to even come over there. And
Yeah.
it's always about money. I don't, and then we get in an argument, and then she don't want to argue, and she was kind of
Yeah.
moody, and I have a right to, and I said, you say it's our business, but I don't care. I said, because I got a pension. I said, but if it's our business and I'm sending money, there's a right way to do it. I have a right to know what we're bringing in our business.
That's right. That's what I mean. Was she showing receipts? So she
And I
wasn't.
said, and doing an inventory. Well, I can't do an inventory. I said, it's very simple. You got your daughter and your other daughters, and they can work with you. You can do it.
Stop right there. Go to my last video I was watching. I mean, the last live stream I did, and I was talking about why you shouldn't open up business over here, because they don't do inventory. They don't know what people are buying. They don't know what's selling. Remember, I told you, I said, if I open up a sorry store, I'm do this, I'm buying this, and that. They don't do it, guys. They just want a fully stocked store that looks good. They ain't
Yeah,
gonna make a grand damn.
and then you got stocks that aren't selling, see, and just sitting there.
That's right.
So,
I know exactly. It's dust all over the place.
and I lost out on 2 motorcycles. One she got rid of, and the other she's not running. So, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I wanted to come over there because I had a restaurant at one time, and I'm a chef, barbecue and seafood.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there ain't nothing I can't cook. I'm good, pretty much good at everything. I'm a carpenter, a lot of things I can do. So I wanted to come over there.
You're probably worth more alive in the United States than dead over here. If you'd have came over here, they'd have probably killed you, Alan, after you done exposed all the scamming and all the boyfriends and all the money she's thrown away. She wouldn't have had no choice but to hire somebody to get rid of you, man. I wouldn't come if you ever do finally come over here. Go somewhere else, where opposite of where she is.
Well, I if I do, if I'm physically able, okay, I got to get to that.
Yeah.
And but I thought it'd be cool because I can cook American barbecue and seafood, and it could probably do good for the food extension or whatever. We'd work together, But then she was somewhat jealous of me, and the only reason she kept taking me back, I believe, is because she knew that was guaranteed money. She won't admit to it.
Absolutely.
They'll never admit to it.
Absolutely.
They'll
We've
never
got a
admit to it.
reputation. We've got a reputation for being easy. Okay, they paint us all with that brush. We're desperate, and all I gotta do is ask him, and he's gonna send me a fortune. Now, I can guarantee you this: she's broke. She ain't got 2 pesos to rub against each other right now. When's the last time she asked you for some money, Alan?
Um, it's been over a month now since I broke up with her.
Yeah, but that's the last time you sent her some money.
Yeah, that's it.
How much did you send?
Well, I was paying the light bill and the Wi-Fi because once we got in a relationship, because the Wi-Fi wasn't good. So I paid for top of the line Wi-Fi so she could have good connection. I paid for a cell phone for her, a gas
Well, how much did you send? How much did you send? How much did you press the button for?
300.
$300?
Yep.
That's about 16,000 pesos.
Yep.
Has she been trying to contact you again?
I blocked her so she can't.
Yeah.
She
But
probably got me
you're not
blocked
back.
too.
Are you trying? You're not going to try it again, are you? Are you going to try it again?
Try what? Get back with her?
No, another woman, because you said you were married 6 times. If it don't succeed, try again. Try it. So she was the 7th one.
Yeah, and she considered that a message from God because God's number was 7 and stuff like that. But I decided, I'll be honest with you, and more and more after being in this relationship, I lost some freedom and I cut back doing to myself and tried to change. And you've talked about that on some of your podcast programs, trying to change. You got to be yourself and be real to yourself. And I wasn't. And I feel pretty good now because I'm not going to get married. I'm 66. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I've raised 2 kids. I've done a lot of things, and I'm better off. I'd rather stay single, and do the wild thing. If I hook up one, I'll let them roll up front. I did that before she came along, and it somewhat.
So y'all talk.
Promising.
Did y'all talk marriage?
Yeah, we did. We did talk marriage, and I was gonna, but then I got to think about, and that's another thing. I'm gonna have to send money or come over there and pay for annulment. And
well, hell, you paid for about 20 annulments.
20 annulments, exactly.
Yeah, you paid a lot. Hell, the annulment's about 300,000. Yeah, you paid about for 15 annulments. 16.
So,
but I love your honesty because you're gonna help some people. Because we always think, "Oh, it can never happen to me," or "You're not the only one, Alan. I've done it. I'm doing it now." Trust me.
We are.
If Merlin got a wild hair up in her ass and kicked me out, I'm out of everything. Okay. And I can justify it and say, well, I did it because my daughter and all this. The point is, we still do it. It's part of the game over here. When you come over here, you're going to spend. The thing is, don't overspend. Exactly. And that's what we continue to do. We come over here, we buy things that the woman don't even want. She would never buy if she had that money. We do that. We can't call it a scam.
And it's like you said quite a few times, they're not used to that kind of money. And they get overwhelmed with it. And they take it for granted. They really do.
That's right.
And to live there is actually very simple. if you don't go overboard, because right
we
now
go overboard.
my income right now with what I got is $2,600 a month. Now, if I was over there, 2,600, I could live like a king. You know what I'm saying? Fancy food,
Well,
hotels.
not the way you spending, Alan. You wouldn't last a month. You wouldn't last a month over here. But you're so right about so much of what you're saying, man. You know, it's like the money you sent her, the 5 million in pesos. It's like I give you $5 million. You're gonna do some crazy stuff too, Alan, right?
Yep. We all
Now,
got that wild side.
did you unblock her?
Nope.
Oh, okay. No, Robert, he kept her blocked. It's over.
It's over.
But we want to thank you, number one, for your service, man, because you're a great guy, man. You're not the only one it happens to. They play on our sympathy, especially Americans. How many times I got to tell y'all this? Americans, we're very sympathetic. We raised $13 million for George Floyd, of all people. And we raised another $6 million for his sister. And to somebody got smart enough to think, well, what does his sister have anything to do with it? And they shut that GoFundMe down. So they do that. So they'll show you the poverty. They're never going to ask you. And I'm not talking all of them, but the ones we seem to deal with, they're playing on that sympathy. And that's what happened to you, man. She reeled you in. And
she played on my heart because I got a good, caring
right.
heart. And we're vulnerable. And it happened. And I kept telling myself, I hope it's not. I hope it's not. I don't want it to be. And then the deeper I got into it, then I started drifting. We were drifting away from each other. We weren't communicating like we used to. You know what I'm saying? And so
now, even at 53 years old, I don't think you was ever going to get your money's worth out of that 85,000, man. I mean, 53 over here, she's a dinosaur. That's old. Okay.
Well, now she's 57.
I hate to tell you. Huh?
Now she's 57.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's a Neanderthal right there. You're not going to get any return on your investment, brother. That's why I'm glad you came on here, man, because you helped me today. Believe it or not.
Listen, your podcast is spot on. And anybody that don't think it is, you need to go somewhere else because you're real. You tell it like it is. You don't beat around the bush. You don't sugarcoat it. And that's what I like about you. And that's why I followed you and over a period of time, not every day, but you know, I'm subscribed to you and I'll look at your videos and
but let me ask you then. So if you watch my channel and everything, why did you turn around and do the opposite of everything I said not to do? Because this is going to help somebody, if you're honest.
Me trying to do it my way and kept telling myself it ain't so. And you got to look at, sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to do things because I got to feel it out. And that's why I kept really watching yours and a couple others. And I had to, I'll be honest with you, the feelings I had when we first met slowly with everything. And I kept, Jack, you know, it's about the money. It's always about the money, even if it ain't like this, because they think we're all rich and we're vulnerable. And with our money over there, they're going to live better than we live with our money over here.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. I'm glad you said that because we're all in the same boat, really. People want to be the exception because they say, oh, well, I only spent 1 million. And, you know, we'll justify. Trust me, guys, it doesn't matter if you spent 5 million or 500,000. It's all for the same reason. Some of us just overspend. If you could just put a limit on what you're going to spend, guys. They have no clue of the amount of money we're bringing over here, lavishing them with cars and SUVs and big houses and lots that they could only
Or,
dream about.
yeah,
It's like
or
hitting the lottery. It's like hitting the lottery, but we keep doing it. And I'm saying you're going to spend. Everybody has to spend. That's part of the game over here. But you don't have to overspend, okay?
and
Like many of us have done.
or that, and guys, listen, this goes out to all you guys out there. A lot of you want to go over there and have fun. Go over there and have fun. Do a one night thing. Get your rocks off. Pack it up and go home. And if and you're wanting a lot of older women, older men are coming over because they want that young woman, because you can't get that in America. But when you do that,
Yeah.
there is consequences from it.
Yeah. Now, Danny said just get over there in person and travel around in person. Don't dish out your money to strangers you've never met. Yeah. But we all do it, Danny. I'm sure you sent your girlfriend money before you ever met her. We all do that. We, for some reason, we're in denial about that. That's why I'm glad that Alan's over here today. Alan's not the exception to the rule. I've lost friends over here, guys. There's people right now who aren't speaking to me because they think when I talk about guys giving women all these millions of pesos, I'm talking about them when I'm not. There's so many stories out here like yours, Alan. I can't tell them all. And just like you said at the beginning, you won't say any names. I never say any names. They're just guilty because they've done it. Oh, that sounds like me. He's talking about me. No, I'm not. You're guilty. If you're worried about it, then stop doing it. Stop sending all that money to these women, and then you worry about somebody finding out about it. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
Hey, TJ Johnson, thanks for that super chat. He said, pray for my OG, but respect for admitting he dropped $5 million on someone's Lola Tita without poking. Yeah. He said, some of y'all cowards are in the same boat and fronting. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. We've all spending. If you over here dealing with a Filipino, you spend it. And if you're not, you lying. You fronting.
And
Okay.
if it ain't Filipino, it could be Chinese, Japanese, Korean. It's the same thing.
No. It's Filipino over here. We're spending that kind of money, but guys want to act like, oh, I'm from the manosphere. Oh, men going their own way. I'm a tough guy. I'm not a simp. If you over here fooling with a woman and you from over there and you met online or wherever you met her, you spend it. Because guess what? She don't have any money to spend. So
now,
that's just the bottom
she
line.
didn't look Filipino because her grandmother was Hispanic, so she looked more Hispanic than she did, but her children are Filipino, see. And
what time did you travel? Thanks for that super sticker. Yeah. And we're going to give her the benefit of the doubt because I never blame the woman. It's not a scam, okay? We give them the money freely. It's not like she got your ATM number and ran it through your bank account and got a loan or, skim money off of it. You sent that money every single time, didn't you, Alan?
Yeah, I helped quite a few family members out and out of the goodness of my heart,
Yeah, and that's what they play on. We're very sympathetic. If we could just remember the first rule of human nature is self-preservation, we're not going to have a problem. Okay? But we don't. For some reason, we come over here, man, and we want to put these women on a pedestal. We'll build the damn pedestal. There's no pedestal. We'll build it and then put her up there. And then say, oh, she scammed me. No, you scammed yourself.
Yeah, now, and I'm glad you said that because I won't say that she did. She she knew right from the start, you know, that I was vulnerable and a good heart, and would bring up all these different sad sob stories. See?
Yeah. Hey, Danny, thanks for that super chat. Y'all check out Danny's channel too. Road to the Philippines. He said, don't let this experience discourage you. Do your due diligence and learn for your mistakes and don't repeat them. Buy a plane ticket and get over there and enjoy what time you have left. Exactly. You know, if you just want to come over here, man, when you come over here, let me know. Hell, I'll help you. Well, you know,
Yeah.
but hell,
One
you're a
time,
grunt. You're a grunt, though. You don't
one
need
time,
me.
I do want to come over and visit, but I've got to have surgery next year. Well, this year in November on my left knee with the VA.
Yeah.
And once I get my finances back up a little bit, and then seeing what's going on with the world right now, and you know what I'm saying. It's tough over here, Calvin. It's really tough over here. You know, with the election coming up and different things and politics. But I'm going to be saving
Yeah.
because I would like to come over and just say hello and spend a week with you and just visit, enjoy, and see
Well,
the Philippines.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you make it over here, me and Merlin gonna get the guest house ready for you. Your entire stay is on us over there at that guest house. If you ever make it over here, Alan, if you stay 30 days, you can stay over there. We're not gonna charge you 1 peso.
Well, I appreciate that, and
Okay,
we'll have a
that's
good
our
time.
gift to you, brother.
Well, your show has been a great help to me, and I think it's a great help to a lot of other people. And that's why I contacted you. Well, you know, I contacted you because I was planning to go over there, you know, and I said, you know, because it's a big wing ding and everything. And I in October I sent her daughter turned, and you know, it's a big deal when they turn 18. Right. And
Yeah, for some of them.
yeah, well, because her ex or her husband didn't have the money, and she wanted to make it special where it was laid out.
Yeah, the
You know,
debut is what they call it over here.
yeah, I paid for all that. Nearly
How much
about,
did you pay?
huh?
How much did you send?
Um, Probably because they had it all set up with the speaker, the announcer, the dress, the pictures. Probably about 35,000 pesos.
Yeah. What's the most you ever spent at one that you sent at one time, Alan?
At one time, 100,000 pesos.
A
That was
hundred
to help.
thousand pesos.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's when she was doing the food extension and extended off the building.
Yeah.
I had to get a new roof, and I bought the equipment, the freezer, all that kind of, you know,
Wow.
all that stuff that she could work with.
Yeah. Thanks, Willie Cook, for that super sticker. He said, let's give this guy the benefit of the doubt. And we are. And that's why I said, guys, you know, don't, if you come over here and try to put him down like that, we're going to get rid of you for the day, not forever. But, you know, people make mistakes, man. That's why I started this community, so we could get together and talk amongst each other to prevent this type of stuff from happening. You know, but if you're not going to take the information and use it, it's useless. I mean, but I'm going to keep on preaching it. I told you I could talk about this subject every single day, because how many Allens are out there, like TJ said, they're cowards. They won't come forward. They're embarrassed. Look at the guy that was stuck in Lapu Lapu. It should not be happening, period. Okay? It should never happen again, but it is. Okay? Because we think, oh, she's different, or you're different, and the money I'm sending over here is going to be safe. And it's not. Okay? let her earn it. There's nothing wrong with taking care of a woman, man. But hell, we go way beyond that. Guys over here spending so much damn money, man, that you
Listen,
say to
with the money
yourself,
I
dude,
spent, I got a
you know,
Harley Davidson Classic in the garage that needs to be fixed. I could have done that.
don't,
I got an old
yeah.
raggedy truck I could have fixed up.
Yeah, don't,
I
yeah. See,
thought it.
that's what I'm saying. Don't put yourself in a financial bind taking care of somebody overseas. That's insane. Okay?
It is.
Yeah, that's insane, guys. I mean, really.
And
You know, now
she would always say,
you
and the
said it's a
others
struggle. Huh?
would say, he's not like other foreigners. Because they even asked her. They even asked her one time in the food extension, they had people around, ask her if she exposed herself to me. And if I asked her that, she said, nope. And she turned the
Yeah, well,
camera
hell,
to me.
you should have. You should have. Hell, she should have sent you a damn reel-to-reel movie for 85,000. You should have a whole damn series of her in every damn position. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you 85 pesos till you show me something. I'm
Well,
sorry. Yeah,
I worked,
if especially if I'm way over there.
well, I looked at it like this. If you've seen one naked body, you've seen them all, because when it comes to women, I was a bouncer in a titty bar for about 4 years at a military base.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but you didn't give away, you didn't give away 85,000.
no,
I mean, you
the
gave
girls couldn't
away a
even hustle me
fortune.
in there.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, do you understand that 5 million pesos over here is a fortune? It's like having 5 million over there. I'm talking about the degree of difficulty, Alan, for her to come up with 5 million pesos all at once, or even in 3 years. It's the same degree of difficulty that you would have trying to come up with $5 million over there in 3 years. You sent her a tremendous amount of money, and I hope you do learn your lesson. I hope anybody watching this has learned something. You can't buy these women. I guarantee you she doesn't have 1 peso of that 5 million. She done spent it all.
and
She
then
doesn't have 1 peso.
it's always, she'll thank me, thank you. And then when I try to talk about it, I didn't ask, and it was your decision. It was your decision to do it.
Thank you. Thank you. How many times have I said that? That's what they're going to tell you. After you spent all that hard-earned money, I didn't ask you. You did that on your own. See?
I'll pay you back. I got that. I'll pay you back. I said, how you going to pay me back? You ain't got that kind of money. You could never pay me back. You'll be working, and your children will be working to pay that kind of money back to me.
He says, if you've seen 57-year-old Filipina, you haven't seen anything beyond your imagination. Yeah, I mean, my God. I tell you. Yo, because Robert Dame, he said, so Calvin, you had saved me thousands of dollars. I took notes because we're going to sympathize, guys. When they pull that curtain back and show you how they're living and everything, which, by the way, they're getting along just fine before they ever met you. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to grab your heart like they did Alan, like they did me. And you say, oh, well, hell, $300, that's nothing. I heard, here's $300. It's a lot of money. It's a monthly, that's for the whole month. And she hasn't had to work for it.
And then I even brought up, I said, well, listen, before I come along.
Did the winner come over here? Okay. Did you get the money out of here? Okay. Sorry, Alan.
That's okay. I said, well, let me ask you something. What did you do before I come along? How did you live and survive before I came along and bought your rice and your food and paid your bills? What'd you do? Borrow money because you don't want to take from the store? I said, you're in business, so you can take from the store. We always got to talk about money. I don't like talk about money. Then we get in an argument. I said, well, we need to. You say it's ours, but you don't let me know. You always say that you ain't got money, and then she saved up money to buy, which we got into a big fight and argument about. With money I sent, she saved up money and bought a speaker for her sound system because she likes to karaoke. 45,000 pesos. 45.
Wow.
I said, what? And you
Yeah.
didn't tell me about it? I said, you're hiding things from me. Why do you
It was
keep
probably
secret?
practically living outside, but they had a big fancy karaoke system. Thanks to you. But what did she say? What did she say, Alan, when you asked her? What was she doing before you came along?
She didn't say nothing. She got mad and so she got moody to me. So I just turned the phone off and I didn't want to talk to her because it was always money, money, money. I said, well, it's okay. You say you don't care about the money, but when I talk about it, you get upset, but you don't mind being took care of, but you don't want to hear about that. And
now, are you angry? Are you angry with yourself now that you think about it?
At times you know, and I try not to think about it. I said, well, there's nobody's fault but mine. I'm not going to blame her because I'm an adult and I know right from wrong. And I won't say desperate, but it was, and listen, I looked at it like, listen, I was at the airport to go over there. I done secured my dogs and place and everything, and then I couldn't make it. That right there was a sign right there. You know, the first time trying to go over because I didn't have my ducks in order, and now, you know, with the surgery, and so I told her, you know, it's not going to work. So what I did when I blocked her, I sent her a video and a message and just told her, we're done. You can say it's not about the money, but it is. And I can't afford you.
Yeah. Now, what about your kids? Are they mad at you because you said they told you not to do it, but you did it anyway? So if you're not going to listen to your children, you sure ain't going to listen to me. Are they still angry, or have they forgiven you?
No, they're happy that we're done, and some of my friends, because they care about me, and they said they didn't want me to be took advantage of. But we know we can't talk to you because you don't listen to nobody. And I said, well, I appreciate you, you know, and now my other son has nothing to do with me, and some family members don't have nothing to do with me. I'm kind of the black sheep of the family and the rebel. So, but
yeah, well,
okay.
Most of us are, Alan. That's what we have in common. Most of the guys who really come over here and become expats, we're like the black sheep. We're loners. You know, nobody really understands us, and we do our own thing. We're lone wolves, really.
Yeah, I am a drifter.
You know,
This is
but
the longest
I'm gonna
I've
give you some
stayed.
good news. I'm gonna give you some good news, and I'm gonna give it to you in front of everybody. So when it happens, I want you to come back on the show and tell us about it. See, no matter what your motive was for giving that woman that money, there's something called the law of compensation, and it's going to come back and reward you, Alan. I promise you that. You said you're waiting on your VA 100%. You're going to get that, and you're going to get more than that. Maybe that's the reason you're still alive.
Listen,
but it wasn't in vain, okay? It wasn't in vain. Yeah, I hope you learned your lesson, but you're going to get something back of that. Trust me.
I've lived, like, I guess every wife, a different lifestyle. I've been around. I was a truck driver for 18 years, and I've been at some terrible accident scenes. I've done CPR. I'm not trying to brag. God has put me in certain places, and maybe this was God's way for me to learn something, put me in a place. I always tried to give back to the community. Even my family says, you give too much. Uh, I get a lot of things. People give me things, and then I try to donate it to people that it can help. I built handrails at a reasonable price for senior citizens that don't have the money and things like that. And so I don't advertise or nothing, and people are calling me all the time, and I'm always giving, and doing and doing and doing. I've been involved with Boy Scouts with my son. I was a roundtable commissioner, assistant scoutmaster. I love to camp. I've gone places. I've been all over the United States, Canada. I am German. My mother's German. She's still alive. She's 87. My father's at the VA home here in Tennessee. He's 86.
Yeah.
He's got dementia. And my mother was 10 years old during the German Nazi War.
Wow. Now,
Yep.
Here's the thing. We all do what you did. Some of us just do it a little bit at a time. And then they look back and it adds up to 5 million. But I've got a subscriber. He's probably watching now. He sent the woman 20 million pesos without ever seeing her, Alan. So he got you beat. Now, both of y'all are in my Hall of Fame, obviously. You're in my Hall of Fame. Okay? You're the damn gold standard. You're the damn gold standard, Alan, for what not to do. Okay? And I'm glad you came on here, brother. I really appreciate your honesty, man.
I'm probably in the Genesis Book of World Records for red flags of what not to do that I ignored. But
Yeah,
okay.
Here's R2RC says, sir, it's a business here. You're only one of many. I will guarantee you were one of her multiple income streams for her. Dude, there are no jobs here. You just put her in a higher tax bracket. And that's what I want to know. I wonder if the money we send them, I guess it's considered a gift. So they don't have to pay taxes on it. They surely not paying, but whoever this is, if he's a Filipino, he's telling the absolute truth. I made a video a long time ago, said the best job over here is chatting online with a gullible foreigner. That's, you don't get a better job than that. I don't care what kind of education she has, Alan, there's no way she was going to earn $5 million in 3 years. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money over here. That's a fortune.
I tried to tell her that she was searching, because when her Facebook page advertised, and she had told me a dating, but it didn't work. And then she would advertise sexy single lady. And I said, well, naturally you got so many guys on there because you're wearing shorts. You're supposed to be a godly woman, and you're throwing yourself out there, even though you're not flashing your boobs, but you don't wear a bra. And I said, and you got shorts clean up there, and you're saying sexy single ladies. So you're going to get them. But I wasn't looking. I just was attracted to her. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't. And usually when I go through Facebook and I see one that's got 1,500, 2,000, and I look at the guys and all the comments up, I don't even mess with it. But somehow or another, I just got, you know what I'm saying? It just struck me. It really struck me. And
yeah. Thanks for that super chat, Danny. He says, never invest in anything you wouldn't or couldn't walk away from. That's including myself, as painful as that could be. That's great advice.
Exactly.
Don't loan an amount of money. Don't spend the amount of money, invest that you can't walk away from, and be comfortable with it. Okay, that's a lot of money, but it's water under the bridge now. You already sent it. We're just trying to learn from it, because you seem like just a normal guy. Did you go to college, Alan?
No, I'm a high school graduate. I went to truck driving school, and that's it. The rest of I've worked in a body shop, mechanic, convenience store, had my own restaurant, all kinds of stuff. I've worked 2 and 3 and 4 jobs at one time.
Yeah, Laura says, I hope you guys pay yourself first before you give away money. See, this is why I asked you that question about, are you in financial trouble because of this situation?
Not bad.
We gotta practice self-preservation. That's, I'm sorry, you got that motorcycle in the garage, the truck in the garage, they're just sitting there because you can't fix them because you sent her the money over here. Hell, you actually bought her 2 motorcycles over here.
And then she got rid of one and still got the other one and then not even running it.
Yeah. So you talk to any of her friends or anybody since you've given up on her?
No, because I tried to keep low keyed on certain things,
Yeah. But I'm not going to hold you too much longer. I think you said all that needs to be said.
Well,
They want that commitment online. They want that commitment online, guys. Okay, don't blame the woman. It's always us. It's not a scam when you freely give her money over here. Send her money over here. Every one of us is going to have to spend, Alan, but we don't have to overspend.
Right.
Some guys are laughing at you, but they've spent 5 million too. Just because they did it 5,000 pesos at a time, they think they're better than you. They're not.
Hey,
if you come over here, you deal with a woman over here, you're gonna spend. Period. I don't care what them guys say. They can call you a simp, call me a simp. You gotta pay to play over here. The unspoken agreement is in full effect over here. I don't care what you look like, what kind of education you got. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are.
Exactly.
You're gonna pay over here, buddy. I'm sorry. So, you just try to spend as little as you possibly can.
But I feel good. I feel great. I'm going through my therapy. I got 2 more days left next week. I've been in therapy for my hip for 6 weeks. I go back to the doctor Monday. I'm getting back in shape because I have my own workout bench, and I bench press and exercise, and so I do my thing. I'm pretty busy in the summertime. So I feel great despite everything, a little sad, but It is what it is, and I'm moving on. And
yeah, so when is your surgery?
I'm scheduling the next surgery next November for my left knee, which is from the military. I had implants put in there when I was 43, and the plates are wearing down. But my left hip, because of my left knee and leg and my back, I've had 3 backs. I've been under the knife 21 times, and I got a brain tumor too. I was diagnosed with that in 2009.
Wow. Well, let's make a promise to yourself that you'll never ever send another peso over here to the Philippines, Alan.
That's a promise I guarantee you that will be kept, and it ain't gonna happen ever again. If I send it over, it'll be sent over to myself.
Okay. Yeah. And thank y'all for your super chats, your super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support of Sunshine Shoulders. Thank you again, Alan, for your honesty, man, and your courage to come on here. You're gonna help some people because they're gonna go back and watch this video. And they're going to say, damn, that's me. That could happen to me. There's people watching now who are sending money over here to women who they've never met before. Okay? We'll never know how much they've sent. There's guys over here now spending a fortune on women, including myself. Okay? It's part of the game, Robert, over here. Alan over here. So take care, everybody. Stay safe. Anytime you want to come back on the channel, Alan, just let me know. and we'll set it up, brother. Okay?
Yeah, I'll give you an update how I'm doing everything, and I am going to work on trying to come over there just to see you because you've been a big your show's been a big help to me. And another thing, I learned a lot by being in that relationship and things about the Philippine food and different things and the culture. So, and through you,
Yeah.
and
That was
so,
an expensive education. You probably could have went to Harvard, hell, for 1 or 2 semesters with that, Alan.
yep, probably so. But I think
But
this was a
okay,
great
brother.
show. Thank you.
Yeah. Take care,
Take care.
everybody.
Ciao.